Hi, I'm Alan R and welcome to MotorMatters, which should be your favorite go-to channel for all things motoring in South Africa. Newest, the latest, the greatest, the best. It doesn't matter what it is, new launches, you should be coming to this channel. And have you subscribed yet? Hit that subscribe button to get a notification every time we post a new video, and you'll always be up to date. Today we bring you the Citroën C3 Aircross. Now the Aircross has been on our driveway before. There are videos of it on the channel, but they did make some changes and updates not that long ago, and this is the new version we've got. You can't miss the face of a Citroën. The squares, always the square theme with Citroën. The double chevron, of course, badge over here on the front of the bonnet, which is a clamshell kind of arrangement, and you've got this sort of little spoiler effect over here at the front, which is in a grey contrasting colour. You come round on the side, of course, notice the LED daytime running lights, LED headlights as well. Important feature when it comes to safety, LED lights these days. Nice little dual tone alloy wheels, 17 inches on this model, because the new range, the updated range, has, of course, the two different levels, they call them, the Pro and the Max. This is the Max version. What does that mean? It means it's got the 1.2 litre engine, same as the other one, but with turbo. The original versions were the non-turbos. So that makes quite a difference, obviously, to the performance of the car. You've got, of course, your black cladding along the bottom over there. You've got roof rail effect over here, although not roof rails. And interestingly, no push button or keyless entry. You use a key on the car. But you know what? I don't think that's a big deal, and I don't think that is anything really terrible. Let's have a look at the space in the back. Driver's seat set for myself, as you would expect. Tons of legroom. Look at this. This is really good, I've got to tell you. And one of the changes from the previous model, can I call it the previous version, is this center console over here. You didn't get a console like this on the previous one. What you did get was a little fold-down armrest on the driver's seat, which you no longer get, but you do get the armrest on the console. You get air vents for the back seat, and you get 2 USBs at the back. Something else that has changed, and you'll see it again at the front, is on the older version, the electric window controls the rear doors. Well, on the console, you have all 4 on the driver's door. Funny little change, but ergonomically, I think far better and far improved. So, little things, but sometimes, you know what? It's nice when a manufacturer does update, make little changes that I think improve life generally with a vehicle. You've got a very interesting C-pillar treatment with your lights coming round over here. And something that on a personal level, I always feel is when the tail lights are plainly and only in the C-pillar and not split into the rear tailgate, you're going to find, if God forbid you have an accident or need repairs, it's going to be a lot cheaper. I can tell you that. You have to use your muscles to open the rear hatch. I don't think I'm going to complain. There is a shelf over here, but I must tell you, this is a big boot. Now, talking boot size, if I remember correctly from the launch, you've got about a 440 litre boot on this vehicle. That is very big. It really is. And remember, you can get this in 7-seater format as well. This is a 5-seater, but this one here. But if you do take the 7-seater, it is one of the most affordable 7-seaters on the South African market. Allen test, let's go. Not even taking out the shelf, which obviously would give a lot more height. Hey, this is even more than a 2 Allen. I'm going to go to a 2¼ Allen boot on this one. That is big. It's very, very big. And although there is a bit of a load lip, it's not very high. Nice and easy for me to get in and out. So it means it's easy to load your luggage and your parcels. Now, I mentioned the 1.2 litre 3-cylinder engine. turboed, which does make a difference. So it's now got 81 kilowatts, 205 Newton meters of torque, and we've got a 6-speed automatic torque converter transmission driving the front wheels. So let's check it on the road and let's have a look inside. Out on a cruise for a change. Harty's area, of course, and I'm deliberately showing you how nicely this 1.2 litre 3-cylinder turbo can handle a pretty steep uphill. It really does it nicely. 81 kilowatts, 205 Newton meters, 6-speed torque converter. Good combination of factors that just give you pretty nice peppy performance and a smooth, comfortable ride all mixed into one. Just overall, the 10-inch touchscreen over here. And among the other updates from the previous test I did on here was the change to the aircon system. Notice it's now an auto aircon system as opposed to a manual aircon. Little changes, but much nicer, much more upmarket. I think that makes a big difference. But in typical French Citroën fashion, it's a very smooth, comfortable ride. Tiny bit soft, but not soft as in the car being all over the road. But it definitely is the softish feel to it. But it makes it comfortable, it makes it nice. And there's just lots of things about this Aircross that just count, I think, nicely for it. But one thing I do like is this gearbox, I have to tell you. It shifts up and down nice and easily. And in a category where practically all the opposition use CVTs, this one having the torque converter, just, I don't know. I can't knock CVTs all the time. We all know they're getting better and better by the day. But this one really just does a nice job of it. And just gives you, as I said, that peppy performance. So from the non-turbo version that we drove in the past as well, which was a little bit pedestrian and a little bit slow, this one just feels like it wants to get going, wants to just give you that extra bit of fun driving, extra bit of go, even though it is very much your crossover SUV family little car. So let's just check it out further. You'll see the interior in a few moments as well. Jumping in behind the wheel, you've got some nice digital instrumentation in front of me. And of course, the important thing I need to tell you is we've done 470 kilometers on this test. Look at that, 8.2 liters per 100. Now, I would have expected a touch better, but then again, spirited driving, enjoying, and largely urban driving. So I think I better excuse it for that. I think it's okay. You've got your multifunction steering wheel, of course. You've got everything you want on the steering wheel and all of those features as you would expect from any car like this and in this category. So let's just leave it there. Strangely, or maybe not, no cruise control, but I don't think that's a vital item on a vehicle in this category. And as I mentioned, you now have the controls for all 4 windows over here, whereas you used to only get the front on the previous version. Coming across to the infotainment screen, it's nice and big, it's clear, Android Auto, quick, easy, works beautifully, got to tell you. And you've got a reasonable reverse camera. It's good, it works, and it's functional. It's all you can ever ask for on any vehicle. You come down over here to your auto aircon system and buttons. Thank you very much, Citroën. Again, I know I keep commenting about that, but it is important to me. And below that, you've got one USB and a 12 volt. And you've got spaces here for your phone, etc., etc. Works nice and easily. Now, you've got the contrasting colors on the whole fascia and dash, where also this rounded effect, which is so typically Citroën, and the squared air vents. But interesting, the light color contrasting the dark in the car. I think it works very nicely. It looks pretty good. Your 6-speed auto transmission, gated, which is quite interesting. Not, it's slightly old-fashioned, but it works nicely. And I've got to tell you, I like the 6-speed auto on this car. Torque converter works very, very nicely. And you've got an old-fashioned, what they term manual handbrake. Again, I like. No complaints about that. So the crux of the matter is what you've got to look at. What are you getting for this car? Now, there is the lower spec 5-speed manual version, which comes in at 270,000 Rand, which is really a good price, isn't it? Or you can look at this one over here, which is the Max, and it gives you all the spec, all the extra spec, got a lot of features, got a lot of things going for it, and it comes in at 361,900 Rand, or an extra 10. That's all for the 7-seater version. Only goes up by 10,000 Rand. That is really not much. It's competitive. It's got a lot of extra oomph and go with the turbo engine, the 81 kilowatts, as opposed to 60 kilowatts. That's what, a third more power. Maybe you're going to feel it a little bit at the fuel pump. Let's not discuss that right now. But anyway, I don't think that's that serious, personally. But it certainly is one of the most affordable 7-seaters you're going to get in South Africa, or a 5-seater with a massive boot. Stellantis Group, we know them. Citroën, always that little bit quirky, always that little bit different. If you like it, you're that guy that likes it. If you like the different, like me, you always like it. Certainly a car I would look at if I'm looking in this kind of category, price-wise, car-wise, 7-seat option-wise, etc. Check it out for yourself. I think it's worth it. For MotorMatters, I'm Alan Naar. See you next time.